Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien professor, joined, as always, by my friend Gryfflet, and you will notice a change in my broadcast setup this morning, right? Things looking a little different, so and I have a reason for this. In fact, you may be able, if you've been paying attention to Signum affairs this past week, be able to guess the reason for the change to my broadcast setup. Indeed, yes, I have a green screen now. Absolutely. And don't worry, the Signum Eagle isn't gone. It's just behind the green screen. And I will, when I do my regular lectures, you know, like Mythgard Academy or Film or something like that, it'll still be there. But I'm gonna use the green screen now for gaming. So can anybody guess why this week I happened to get a green screen like since Tuesday? There's definitely a reason for this. Yeah, the Pokemon setup. Exactly. Yeah. Because now there's like a serious streamer in my household, right? Rather than a rank amateur. This past Tuesday, a few days back, my son Matthias started a stream of his own on the Signum Twitch channel, which is his Pokemon Discovery project. He's playing his way through Pokemon Yellow, kicking it old school, and doing some lecturing on Pokemon lore, and of which he is an endless fount of knowledge. So that started up this past Tuesday, and he was like, okay, yeah, we need to step this up a little bit. So he did his first stream with like my normal setup behind him, and he's like, yeah, that is not acceptable. And yeah, I'm sorry for that. If those of you who tried to watch the Rambunctious Riolu, yeah, skip forward the audio piping totally didn't work at the beginning, and he couldn't even tell, right? It wasn't until Druid's Fire mentioned it that he knew. So we fixed it. So Phil, jump forward to like 4.5 minutes or so is when it finally got fixed, and he resumed. So it's much better from then. We just muted it basically. So that was a little problem there at the beginning, but that'll be fine moving forward. Anyway, so again, now that I've got like a real streamer in my house, you know, he was like, we totally need a green screen. So yeah, that's been sort of the fun thing happening in our house. So yes, you can find him. He has his own YouTube channel, the dream of every child of his generation in America, and he so his channel is under his streamer name, which is the Rambunctious Riolu. Absolutely. But thanks. Glad you guys enjoyed my talk at Weatherstock. That was really fun this past weekend, joining everybody at Weatherstock, my first trip to Weatherstock. And boy, I got to tell you, when I like loaded in, so I had positioned Narnian there on Weathertop a few days earlier, and when I opened it up and like the game slowly resolved, right, with the hundreds of people there, I was like, wow, what an amazing crowd. Anyway, so yeah, big week, Weatherstock talk, and you know, my son's new stream and my new green screen. It's all good. Anyway, it's been a fun week in the Tolkien professor household here. Okay, so, but Gryfflet was in the process of finishing up here in Parth Galen and then hoping to head down into Rohan proper. So I'm supposed to climb Amon Hen and stand at the Seat of Seeing, which, of course, I'm very much looking forward to doing. But first, I want to do this other thing. I want to go and find the tracks of Frodo and Sam. Okay. Because that's down by the shore, right? Yes, it is. It's on the other side of this rock, though. Okay, so when Frodo and Sam came down to cross, must have been like over that shore they were aiming for, right? So it'll be, sandy footsteps. I see them. And here's that ruin. Oh, yeah, well, hang on. The footprints of Frodo and Sam are more important. Nice. Okay. Everything has gone wrong today. What is a hobbit to do? Oh, session play as Sam Gamgee. Who could ask for better to that? Better than that? Yeah. Who could ask for better? Yeah, I could probably add a floating signum. If everyone really misses an eagle flying above my head, I could do that.
What became of our mutual friends on that dangerous day?
Okay. What became of our mutual friends? Okay, so here's Sam. So, all right, so Boromir has gone off. Legolas is still standing in the same dramatic posture. Here's Merry and Pippin. Still tapping their feet in unison. Why do you look so worried? You heard what Aragorn said. Frodo is just going to think about what to do for an hour, and then he'll come back and we'll all set off in whatever direction he's decided. We've got a job to do after all. I'm sure Frodo will come up with something. Interesting. So, Merry and Pippin are being characterized as essentially what? Complacent, I suppose? Yeah. Complacent, that's a little harsh. Trusting, right? They're not worried about Frodo. They're just trusting the process, right? So like Frodo's going to think about what to do, then he's going to come back and we're going to go, right? Like what's the problem here? What's the trauma? So it's Sam. The difference is that Sam is the one who is worried that something's wrong with Frodo because like Sam knows exactly where they have to go, so like what's the issue here, right? And 2, he's more worried about Boromir. Okay, Mary, what do you think? We'll go wherever Frodo goes, won't we? That's what we decided, even before we knew the far-off lands through which his road would take him. But nothing has changed, right? Okay, so the same thing. Okay, all right. This is your vote as well, but if Frodo chooses otherwise, I will go with him. Oh, wait. All right. Oh, Legolas had already moved to go to Minas Tirith. Okay. Right. You propose something different, Aragorn. I think Frodo should go east with 3 companions, myself, Gimli, and Sam. Yeah. Boromir should return to his own city with Legolas and Meriadoc and Ben Peregrine. Okay. Oh, the hobbits object. Hobbits object. Hang on, I gotta keep everybody on the screen so I can make sure to see everybody's dialogue. I know it isn't easy for your friends to hear, Sam, but I think it is the best course. Frodo has probably come to the same realization that both ways are desperate. Yeah. He may in fact be trying to decide which way is most desperate in order to make his choice more clear. Never fully understood that. You think Aragorn may not fully understand your master, and apologetically tell him that Frodo probably has no intention of going to Minas Tirith at all. He intends to go east to Mordor, but he's afraid for those of the company that go with him. You may be right, Sam. The hour is just about up. We should call for him. All right. And then Boromir comes back. All right. Have you seen Frodo? Yes and no. It's been more than an hour since Frodo left. I saw him a ways up the hill, and I urged him to come with me to Minas Tirith. All right, you became angry? Yes, you grew angry and he vanished? I've never seen anything like it. Oh, Elbereth. Oh, man, Legolas drops the E-bomb. Is that all you have to say? Oh, no, why would he do that? How long has it been since you saw him? Yeah, I don't know what this man has been up to. By the way, I love that. So that's what Sam calls him, right? When Sam says, I don't know what this man has been up to. And it seems to me a really fit kind of, it corresponds really interestingly, right, with the way that they do the session play for Boromir, right? You know, the dwarf, the elf, and you know, the hobbit and the other hobbit. Anyway, okay. It's been half an hour, perhaps, or maybe an hour. I don't know. Okay. Let's find Frodo. Oh, man, everyone's scattering. Wait, come back. Where are Merry and Pippin going? That's a dead end over there. Redeem yourself now. Keep those hobbits safe. All right, Aragorn. Okay. Frodo may be in danger. I'm following Aragorn, briefly. And then I'm going to start talking to myself in the third person. Whoa, Gamgee. Think if you can. Except here's a bit of unrealism. I seem to be faster than Aragorn. And Sam is pulling up... Oh. This is a time for plain old Hobbit sense. Okay. So I should stop chasing Aragorn? I think I can overtake him. I was just about to pull into the lead. And Sam is catching up quick. And they're coming around the bend. Oh, Sam takes the inside track. Oh, no. Oh, Aragorn takes the indirect route. And Sam passes him. Oh, he stopped. That's not cool. Use my Hobbit sense to find out where Frodo has gone. Okay, I wasn't supposed to chase Aragorn. Sorry, I got carried away. Carried away with the foot race and the heady and unexpected fact that I, as Sam, was faster than Aragorn. So I'm using my Hobbit sense instead of my desire to compete in a foot race with Aragorn, which is very strong. My desire to compete in a foot race with Aragorn, very strong. But I am going to return across this little stream and find Frodo because I know where he's gone. I have to use my Hobbit sense skill? I have to use a skill. I can't just figure it out. Okay, sorry. Nice. I didn't realize I had a skill for Hobbit sense. Frodo can't fly and he's got no gear, so he needs to get back to the boats. Do I use it again? Back to the boats, Sam, like lightning. Oh, hang on. Could I see that again? Sam. Using Hobbit sense. Oh, come on. You did an emote before. No? There we go. Applying sense. Awesome. Okay. All right, I'm satisfied. All right, now let's see. Where are we going? Here's our other boats. One of the boats is missing. Oh, no. The boat's out in the water. Coming, Mr. Frodo. Swimming past this intriguing ruin I haven't examined yet. Oh, I caught the boat. Yeah, that's right, Frodo. What a nuisance you are. Don't you know you can't really swim? I was doing pretty well, actually. What would you have done if I had not grabbed you? He shakes his head in an exasperated way. Sam, I need to go on to Mordor alone. It's the only way. You refuse to be left behind, to Frodo's growing consternation. Do not hinder me, Sam. The others will be back soon, and if they catch us here, they will make us explain and argue, and I will not be able to resist. If we are going, we have to go now. Oh, Sam, you have spoilt my plan, but I am glad of it. We were meant to leave together, and that much is clear to me now. Let us be off. Excellent. Of course, we have, one of the things that we see here, obviously, is the recapitulation of the whole conspiracy unmasked thing, right? The not only sort of the protectiveness of Sam, but his doggedness as well, right? The refusal to be left behind. Frodo had a plan for leaving the Shire alone too, right? And that didn't pan out. Yeah, cool. Oh, I feel like my hang on, I feel like my picture here is too big. I don't really need to be that huge. Sorry, just reducing a little bit there. Okay, still monkeying with my new settings over here. Okay. All right, so excellent. Now I got to go back to Corridon, but I'll do that when I'm done with the other things. It's time to go to Amon Hen. No, wait. Ruin. So first, let's look at this ruin. So this is the ruin we were looking at from above. Now, you are the ancient Gondorians, and this is obviously quite old. So you're the ancient Gondorians. What are you doing? You're building a tower? So you've already got Amon Hen and Amon Hla out there, right? Right on either side of the waterfall. And you also have, didn't you have something else? Yes, you do. That's what I thought. You've got a watchtower down at the other end, right? You've got nothing on the eastern shore. Not surprising. But then you want to do this. Well, there's somebody's face, which looks like the face is over there, but how the heck did it get over here? I mean, I know there'd be one on this side, but it's too far back, isn't it? It's too far north. There wasn't a head on this puppy, was there? Is that Uruk warrior treading water? He is. Oh, anyway, sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking, from the look of this, from the side, you know, from these plinths, and this looks like a tower rather than, you know, just a building, right? I'm going to say, yeah, the whole thing looks round. This was a big old tower. You know, this could be something like a lighthouse. The function of this tower could have been not for the benefit of watching the lake, because of course that could be accomplished from this watchtower up here, which has a sort of an interesting angle to look at the whole place all the way down to Rauros itself, and even sort of the backside of Amon Hen and Amon Hla. But this, of course, is right next to the waterfall. So if you were coming down the river, as much river traffic would have been doing in the old days, right? You've just passed through the Argonath and into the lake. And this is over here to tell you, A, look out, ginormous waterfall coming up, don't die. And 2, behind me up over here, right, this is where, you get off for the stairs, you know, to go to portage down Rauros if you're going to be going that way. I think that makes sense. Now, you know, Madman, we don't know exactly how much traffic there was on the Anduin in this area. The question, very sensible question, is would there really have been enough traffic to justify it? Maybe, but let's see. We know there hasn't been. I mean, Aragorn says that there's not a whole lot of traffic nowadays, right? But that doesn't really say anything as to the old days. But just so looking at the bigger map here, I would think so. I mean, the river is so much faster. What do they have to travel to? Well, Lothlorien, Rivendell even. I mean, going up and down the river in order to, first of all, trade with the Eotheod, who would have been up here. And yet, Mirthful Minstrel, that's just what I was thinking about, if it could have been a travel and trade route to the North Kingdom. I mean, there's the highway, right, which goes down the west side, up through, through the Gap of Rohan, and then up north, across Tharbad, and on up through. And we've seen that highway in Enidwaith and in Dunland. But it wouldn't be the only route you would necessarily take. I mean, the downside here, on the one hand, it's easier to travel by river, you know, all the way up to, you know, to Lothlorien, to the passes, right, on the Misty Mountains, even up towards the Vales of Anduin, and then cross over the High Pass, and then end up, you know, right there by Rivendell. So, like, on the one hand, it's easier to take goods up the river, but it ain't easier to take the goods over the mountains, right? So, yeah, so I would think it would primarily just be for trading along the river, which there would have been some of. It needn't be like a massive highway, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to do much trade from Lake Town, because it's on the wrong side of Mirkwood here, and these rivers don't connect. But from the Vales of Anduin and the Eotheod, there must have been some trade there. And of course, again, like they would have been surely at the time when this would have been built, like in the time of the kings, right? The times of, like, you know, Meneldor and not Meneldor, he's an eagle. Sorry, Meneldil, the son of Aldarion, and the kings of Gondor. They would have been in contact, maybe even in trade with the elves of Lothlorien, possibly even the elves of Mirkwood, right? Yeah. Oh, good. Ethelod is remembering that we got those men from the north, the woodmen up there from the Vales of Anduin in the Rushgore, who spoke about reopening the trade routes, which certainly does suggest that they used to exist. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I would think that would happen. So yeah, I agree. The Misty Mountains, if you wanted to travel specifically like by foot or by horse or pony or something directly to Rivendell, the river and then crossing over the mountains would probably be faster than going all the way around through Dunland, up Enedwythe, and through into that way. But and what about trading with Moria? No, not in the Third Age. We're not. Yeah, not in the Third Age. Yeah, but yeah, just up into Ravanian. That's got to be it. Yeah, it's true. Druid's Fire. Also, we do have to remember, if you're going in Eriador, we have the coastal route, right? I mean, we have ships along the coast. We're Numenorians, after all, right? So, to get to trade with Arnor specifically, it would be much faster to go down the Anduin and around the coast, and then like up Ered Luin to Annúminas. I mean, you can get within shooting distance of Annúminas, right? If there's a water connection in through here, which we were kind of talking about, we can explore that area of the map in game. You could sail right to the docks of Annúminas, right? So, that would. But even if you went up the Brandywine, we know the Brandywine is navigable, and also goes almost all the way up to Annúminas. So yeah, if you're doing significant trade with Arnor, the sea is obviously your best route. But there is still the overland route. But like I say, Rivendell, particularly, right? Rivendell is tucked up in here. To go, over the White Mountains or around the White Mountains, and then through the Gap of Rohan, and then all the way up into here, it would be, I think, faster and easier to go up the Anduin and then just across the mountains, and there you are. But again, I do think primarily it would be trade. Yeah. Love this new map, by the way. I love it every time I look at it. Okay, cool. So anyway, I think, so that's still my leading theory. And look, we know that the Gondorians weren't necessarily looking at like efficiency in their public works projects, right? I mean, they're not shy about overkill when it comes to public works. So yeah, I'm thinking this has to have been, yeah, we can see on the backside, this was definitely a tower. And interestingly, we can see on this side, if I can angle it right. I'm trying to see inside. Yes, okay, it is a hollow tower. Yeah. I'm going to go with lighthouse. Okay. All right. Let's go. Sorry. Distracted by the clouds. All right, let us run up to Amon Hen and explore Amon Hen. Okay. I think we've done all of the fellowship-related things. Interesting that Merry and Pippin and Boromir ran off in the opposite, or they ran off in the opposite direction of the direction they ran off in the actual game world here. But okay. Yeah. All right, hey, let's answer a lore question while I'm running. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Kronkish Matzi, that's my wild guess as to how your name is pronounced, was asking a challenging question a while back when Tolkien talked about half trolls, do I think he meant them to be actual trolls or men? I think he meant them to be men, but he meant them to be strange men. The half trolls line is a simile. They are like half trolls. So they are strange. They are of a kind strange to the people of Gondor, whose, like, from whom the description is coming. From the hobbits, the description is coming. So in the book, it's clearly a comparison, and we don't really know anything about those people in the books. Where are they? What what exactly do they look like? We know very little. But yeah, in the book it's a simile. In the game, they decided. They made a judgment call, right? And they were like, and I actually talked with the developers about this, and they were like, yeah, we're like half trolls, no question, literal half trolls. So yeah, and that's, which I think is perfectly defensible. I'm not 100% sure what Tolkien was attempting to convey by like half trolls. If they're like half trolls, they're huge. So I think it's their enormous size that he's talking about. If they are half trolls, Phil, what else would they be? Half human, presumably. So they're only half stoned in sunlight. Yeah, they just get a little, I don't know what, a little crusty, I guess, in the sunlight. All right, I'm continuing up the ancient steps, even though that's now taking me through the orc camp, which I investigated before. This is interesting. What did this used to be? A pillar? Why would there be a pillar here? An obelisk? Why would there be an obelisk here? Is there another pillar? Was it an arch? We know that they kind of like arches. Wait, what's that? What's that? That's Amon Hen. What's that? There was a watchtower on the eastern shore? Hang on. Yes, does it correspond to this one? Look at me just running right past that. Okay, so we got watchtowers all over the place. We're watching the heck out of this region if we're the ancient Númenóreans, right? This is the northern bounds of the kingdom, after all. So who are we keeping an eye out for? The Easterlings? The Eotheod? Right, so here we are. So this is a, wow, great view for this watchtower, right? Yeah, you absolutely can watch everything here. So you can see all of Parth Galen, almost all of Parth Galen. You can see on up towards, let's see, right? There's the Elfingels, and then up towards, I guess, yeah, that's the wold on the other side there. We're still down the river from the Great River. I couldn't remember how much was in between there. Yeah, so this really commands the entire lake area, and it does look like over on the other side. Oh, darn it, I can't see it from here. It's on the other shoulder of that rock, which is the Tindrock, of course. But yeah, they had another one over there on the eastern shore. So in addition to, yeah, there it is. Right, so they can watch the whole eastern shore. This watches the whole western shore, and the other one watches the entire eastern shore. And then that one up there will look north across the wold while also being able to have a vantage over here. Is there a fourth one in the fourth quarter of the lake there? No, can't see one from this angle. Keep an eye out for that, but okay. So what are the faces on the rocks for? They seem to be... Yeah, good question, Phil. I was going to ask that too. Can we swim over to the eastern shore? Is that a doable thing? Anyway, well, what are they for? I mean, they are for satisfying the Gondorian desire for monumental architecture, basically. But, so, I mean, it's like the Argonath. In fact, it matches the Argonath. Looking out. So you've got the two faces looking at each other across the entrance to the Rauros, and then you've got the faces which then face south. Those are the ones that are a little harder for me to understand. But okay, so you can get to the eastern shore, but you can't go anywhere after you get there. Okay. I still don't know what that thing is. An obelisk is all I'm thinking. Maybe this was once some kind of obelisk, kind of like the Pillar of the White Hand, you know, to sort of announce, like, it was like the welcome to, you know, Amon Hen sign, essentially. Okay, now here we come. We got one of those classic wizard with the sword statues. Maybe that's where they posted the day's menu. Something like that. Yeah, one of the classic Gondorian tree things that we've seen ever since, oh golly, Ended Wife, basically. Okay. So what do we have here? We've got this circle of walls. What are these buttresses for? What was up there? Nothing. Weird. What are these things? God, the deer hasn't detected me. It's a good thing I'm stealthed. Just designs on the top. Strange. With the sun in the middle. It's got like a Minas Honor mark here. And designs here without the sun in the middle. What is in the middle? Not really clear. They look, they're angled almost like solar panels. They've had something to do. No, I mean, they couldn't have had something. There wouldn't be a mechanical explanation for the seat of seeing. Okay, so we're parallel to them. They've got the same things over there. You can see them, the little angle things from here. Huh. Let's go up on the ruin and look down and see what we see. Whoa, are those beams? Statues? Oh, they're facing out up here. Decorative merlins. Except they're not really merlins, because there's not even a wall. Okay, and we're looking down into the Vale of Entwash there, to the mouths of the Entwash. We've got a decrepit statue. I keep getting that thing in my line of sight. Would you stop it? Seriously. Okay, what is your damage? Why can't I see it? Thank you. Goodness, how hard was that angle to achieve? That was a dome. I thought it was a statue at first, but that was a dome. Right? A little face. Okay, so there was and that was clearly a detached face, like the detached faces on the walls. Trying to reconstruct the architecture of the... This is a spire or a pointy hat? Let's go with spire. Related to this? What was this? Okay, the roof above the seat of seeing is still intact. Okay, so we have the seat of seeing inside a gazebo. Let me unstealth myself so I can see how close to the cliff's edge I am. Okay. Yeah, that's a little... makes me feel a little bit better. Alright. There is, as one would think, an excellent view from the seat of seeing. Now, here, this is interesting. Because there goes the Anduin on the left-hand side, with the mouths of Entwash coming in from the right. But the seat of seeing faces south. Doesn't necessarily mean you can exclusively see to the south. But it's interesting that it's oriented that way. You see what I mean? I wouldn't have necessarily assumed that. Amon Hen, the seat of seeing, so there's some kind of Numenorian magic associated with this seat, which enables you to see over long distances. Not like the Palantir, but differently. Yeah, you can use it to see another direction. It's just interesting that it's seated facing south, because we're up on the northern frontier, right? I mean, if we look back the other direction, from here you can practically see, we can indeed see, there it is, the Argonath right there. You can see the northern boundary. The Argonath was the northern boundary of the kingdom, even back in the height of its power. So we're on the northern frontier. Why are we looking, why do you put the seat facing south across your kingdom? It's as if, again, I know you can see in different directions from there. It doesn't actually restrict this. It's just sort of symbolically interesting that you orient the seat of seeing towards Gondor, right? Towards, it's looking down towards Osgiliath and Minas Tirith. So yeah, again, I realize you can see in all directions. I'm just like, when you construct it, right? Why would you do that? It's symbolically interesting, is what I'm saying. All right. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Gryfflet is sitting in the seat of Amon Hen. Let me move forward just a little bit here. And no. Still too far back. Okay. Maybe the dais can move. I don't think so. There we go. Nice. I like it. Gryfflet sitting on the seat of Amon Hen. Sweet. Yeah. No, it's obviously not a swivel chair, and I don't think the dais moves. I mean, you could imagine this circular bit moving, but no, I don't think it does. But again, it's not the point. The point is, I mean, when you're here, you can attain visions of other places, because it's not just about a lookout post, right? It's a custom station. Yeah. Oh, man. I thought that is so depressing. We're monitoring the kingdom. Just interested that it's oriented back inwards towards the kingdom. It's just interesting. That's all. Okay. But I'm meant to look over towards Amon Hen, and there's the seat of hearing, right? Excellent. Okay. Fires and camps of the orcs on Amon Hen. A great force gathers there. Oh dear. That's not so good. Yeah, Gryfflet has sat in a bunch of important chairs, hasn't he? Throne of Elendil and a Numinous. I remember that. Okay. Oh, time to re-stealth. And then time, I think, to go take the fast way down. Well, the seat of Amon Hen was satisfying, but I didn't have any visions while I was there, so can't pretend wasn't a little tiny bit disappointed not to have visions while I was there. But, oh well. Yeah, I thought he looked north first. Aragorn looked north first when he was on the seat. But he does look around, and doesn't it sound like he's physically turning? I want to go down one more step. Can I slide down here? Nice. Oops. Nice. Okay, I didn't fall all the way. Kind of meant to do safe fall before I jumped, but that's okay. All right. Now where am I? Still up above the camp, right? Where on earth am I? Oh yeah, no, I'm too far in. Oh right, I'm on the path to the stairs. Okay, cool. All right. Oh man, a usable telescope item, JJ. Oh man, yeah. I would invest. It goes without saying, I would invest in that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man, we're still a couple ledges up. That's all right. Okay. So I'm going to head down, and then I'm going to be done, and then I'm going to go back up and talk to Corridon, I think. So let me do start another lore question here. Okay, let's see. Ethelod, you had asked ages ago, is the Darklands beneath Harad a real thing? I don't remember clearly. I think there is a reference to, like, the adjective dark is used, like, of the lands there in some presumably metaphorical sense. I don't remember it really clearly. We know almost nothing about the geography of Harad and Far Harad, so yeah, it's certainly not something that Tolkien explored. I assume it sounds like something which is taken from actual language. I can't recall the phrase off the top of my head from the text that they're probably basing that on, but it's probably based on a metaphorical use of the word dark connected to the lands. And Tolkien's metaphorical usage there would presumably mean, like, we don't know anything about it, right? Dark in the sense of terra incognita. Would be my guess, but I that's what I'm thinking about. Okay. A detached landscape camera, like a detached camera, would be great. Yes, I would appreciate that. Would make my archaeo gaming so much easier. Still one of my new favorite words. Okay. Yes, you cannot stay here. Okay. I agree.
I have a request. I want to see the Argonaut.
You want to see the Argonath? Okay. You'll meet me in their shadow. Well, I'm headed that way anyway, so that's fine. Okay. Oh, but seriously, you're going to make me come back down? Hey, I can use a stable master. Sweet.
Welcome and well met.
Okay, at least I can go to Manzik's encampment. Alright. I know, Phil. Aren't those tracks in the dirt enticing? I completely agree with you. Okay. Let's see. More lore questions. Tony has a fascinating question here. How much of Gollum's final state was the result of his own character and choices versus the corruption and or oppression of the ring? Smeagol was already a pretty nasty person before the ring found him, and he took it with malice and murder. Yeah, okay, so there are three different factors there, right? Again, we have the power of the ring to corrupt. We have the material that the ring is working on, right? Namely, Gollum's sort of original material. And then you have the dynamics between him and the ring, right? Oops, where am I going? I'm not doing anything here. I forgot. I thought I was talking to somebody, but I'm not. So you've got all three of those factors involved with Gollum. Now, as for Gollum's nastiness prior to finding the ring, that's a little trickier, I think, than it might sound at first. He's curious, we know. He's a curious person who is interested in roots and beginnings and that kind of thing. There's nothing wicked or nasty about that per se. But he is obviously the thing that Gandalf points to is his beginning the ring, his possession of the ring with murder, right? I mean, you can't start off worse than that. You can't start off worse than murdering, your best friend for the sake of claiming the ring for your own, right? Like, that's really exactly as bad as it gets when it comes to giving the ring power over you, because that's how I take that to mean. So the ring will corrupt. One of the tricky things with this, as always, is that we have so little data, right? I mean, so few people in the history of Middle-earth have actually held the Ring of Power that, as I say, our data is very, very poor. We have... Is he down here? Yes, he is. Okay. We've got Sauron, we've got Isildur, we've got Gollum, and we've got Bilbo, and then Frodo, with a tiny bit of data from Sam. But like I say, it's not much. And there are so many different variables involved with those few things that, some of them are not really good data points, or again, at least it's hard to compare them to each other. But taking the four primary ring bearers that we know, that we have, right? Isildur, Gollum, Bilbo, and Frodo, right? Of these, think about the way in which they acquired the ring. Isildur acquires the ring, loots it off Sauron's corpse, right? And he says he's going to take it to be an heirloom of the North Kingdom. He takes the Ring of Power as a trophy, essentially, right? Now, that's not a great... It could be worse. He doesn't take the ring in order to get power, so far as we know, right? He doesn't seem to be planning to use the ring and wield the ring to set himself up as a mightier lord. Exactly, Ethelod. He takes it as weregild, right? There's the desire to possess it himself, right? This is mine now. I claim this. This is owed to me, right? So even the weregild thing, you could say it gives him a legal right, right, to it. But but that's still the basis upon which he is claiming his right to personal ownership, which is the beginning of the slippery slope, right, as far as ring possession is concerned. Bilbo takes it a little bit more innocently, right? I mean, of course, when he first takes it, he puts it in his pocket, not even knowing what it is, or sort of forgetting that it's there, right? But when he first realizes what the ring is, remember, he thinks how splendid it is that he has found a magic ring like you hear of in the old tales, right? And he takes it and he keeps it and he uses it. Now, the pity is a big deal, right? The pity is a big deal, and yes, I am not counting Tom Bombadil Catriona. He is, as JJ says, an outlier in any discussion, and no, certainly doesn't count as a ring bearer. But anyway, okay, so Bilbo uses it for his own gain. Now, he does begin his possession of the ring with pity, right? Which Gandalf says is a big deal, and we have every reason to believe Gandalf on this one, right? So that's good, but it's not purely good. Again, he claims the ring for himself. It's his ring, right? He's not obsessing about it yet, but it's his ring, and he uses it, and it kind of elevates himself in his own mind, right? He's not trying to use it to gain power over others, and he doesn't use it to, for wicked things. But again, I think the primary difference there, I don't think it's about wickedness in the abstract. That is to say, the difference between Bilbo's pity at the beginning of his ring ownership and Gollum's murder at the beginning of his ring ownership, it's not just about kind of a sort of a, it's not a criminal justice issue, right? It's not about one ownership began with a crime and the other didn't, right? It's much more than that. I think that the key element is that possessiveness, that desire to claim it for themselves, right? And what you're willing to do, so what you want to do with the ring, how you use the ring, and what you're willing to do in order to get the ring, right? If you are willing to murder your best friend in order to claim the ring for yourself, that shows this really high level of obsessive interest in the ring itself. So the ring seems to gain power over people through their desire to claim it and own it and have it, right? Certainly that correlates with the ring's power over people, as we see that increasing in Frodo. Bilbo's unwillingness to kill in order to secure his possession of the ring, though obviously there's more to him than that, he's mostly thinking just about escaping himself, shows he's willing to take a risk. I mean, his leap in the dark is risky in several ways, not only because he almost cracks his head against the ceiling, though he doesn't know it, but it is much riskier. To jump over Gollum and try to run away is way riskier than just stabbing him would be, right? He's willing to risk not getting away for the sake of not killing for the sake of not killing Smeagol. So there's an element, I won't say of self-sacrifice, but certainly of great personal risk for the sake of his pity for Gollum, right? And so that puts it on a very different footing. By the time Bilbo comes around 60 years later to giving up the ring, it has a strong hold on him. It has begun to affect him, and the way that it does seem to affect people is by that increasing desire for possession, right? That Bilbo's calling it my precious by the time Gandalf is trying to convince him to give it up, right, in Chapter 1 of the Fellowship of the Ring. So when we look at what is the nature of the just standard corruptive influence of the ring, it seems to be about the possessiveness, and so that's why I'm fixating on that. Of all four of those ring bearers, therefore, Frodo seems to me the one who starts his possession of the ring in the best possible circumstances. Again, Bilbo starts it with pity, and it's a good look how Bilbo starts it, but it's his from the beginning, and he's pleased to be the owner of it, and it benefits him, and he uses it to benefit himself and to boost his reputation among the dwarves and all that kind of right away, right? Not just to save his own life pragmatically, but he uses it in this kind of broader sense for his own gain right away, and it's how he thinks of it all the way through, right? It is his special ring. Frodo, when he takes the ring to keep it and to guard it, not necessarily to use it himself, knowing, unlike any of the rest of them, really, well, Isildur, I guess you could argue, but knowing what it is, knowing the risk of taking it, but he takes it self-sacrificially in order to keep it safe and to keep it from affecting anybody else. That's anyway. So thinking about Gollum, trying to map out, what percentage, is what as far as how he ended up the way he was. Again, I think the most important element there is the dynamic relationship between his own desires, his own initial framework, and how that enables the ring to act on him. He starts off, the murder of Deagol shows that he is willing to do, so, his obsessive claim on the ring is, beyond what Bilbo ever gets to in 60 years, right? Now he's had it, well, he will have it for much longer than that, but again, like on day one, Gollum is past where Bilbo is at year 60, right? That I think is the really important part, because the Gollum's choice immediately after getting it to put the ring to crooked and malicious uses. Again, I think it's not a criminal justice issue, or there's not like a morality meter involved there exactly. It's about these things that he uses it for his own personal gain, for his own betterment. This is where there's a parallel with Bilbo. Bilbo's uses are much more innocent, right? But he does use it for his own gain. He does use it for his own advantage, for his own reputation, right? Gollum, though, by contrast, is using it to gain power over others, learning secrets, right? So he can, blackmail folks and stuff, right? He is acquiring power. So that seems to me, his initial conditions, what we immediately see him do, these all seem to speak to his heart. So does this show kind of where he was in the first place? Yeah, to some extent, right? But I think it explains why he was really vulnerable and why the ring gets such a power over him so quickly. But of course, at the same time, he has it for a really long time, right? So you can't underestimate the mere power of the ring to wear him down. Had he started the way that Bilbo started, or to put it in another way, Bilbo in 500 years, would he look just like Gollum? I'm not convinced they'd be exactly the same. Again, day one, year 60, right? It's the difference is not slight, right? It's not like, Gollum's corruption curve is a little steeper than Bilbo's. I mean, we have a massive difference of their starting point and initial orientation. But do I think that Bilbo would eventually get there? Yeah, probably. Okay. I can't believe that this guy's only just now attacking me. I've been standing here unstealthed this whole time. You think that Bilbo stealing from the dragon is putting it to crooked uses? Crooked maybe, but not malicious. He's an honest burglar after all, right? But no, to me, in retrospect, thinking back in retrospectively on The Hobbit, the most dangerous bits, as far as the corruptive power of the ring is concerned, are the ways in which Bilbo uses the ring in order to amplify his own reputation. That initial temptation to not tell the dwarves about the ring, right? And to make them think that he was just a super clever burglar, right? And so to use the ring in order to raise his own status in the eyes of his friends, that, I would say, is the single most alarming thing that, is the most alarming thing that Bilbo does. But again, way below murdering your friend. So anyway, okay.
Behold the pillars of the king.
I was beholding them, and at least I.
Explain to you what this means to me.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, Isildur, Anarion. It is overwhelming. I know, right? It's pretty awesome. The Wardens of Minas Ithil have long fought in the memory of the Tower of the Moon, though it has been lost to the enemy for so many years. It is called Minas Morgul now, and those of us who remember what it once stood for are few. Many of my fellows abandoned the cause because it seemed impossible to go on. They said we toiled for naught. Would they think so if they could stand where I stand now and gaze upon these likenesses of Isildur and Anarion? They are a reminder that the works of men will last, and the spirit of men cannot be crushed, despite adversity and the passage of time. Interesting. Even the orcs cannot tear them down, and if they sought to, my heart sings that men would take the pieces and build them anew. Okay. Look at all these shields. That's cool. Now, oh, I've got to go all the way back down to Hestil. Okay. I think I'm a cheat. All right. Yeah, Minas Morgul. Thinking about that too. Wow, okay. Like, that really took me into Hestil's personal space there. Sorry about that, Hestil.
Everyone is happy? That is unusual.
Right. But perhaps now they will be focused enough for us to see the rescue of our guardian. Oh, yeah, we got to rescue the
I
guardian.
suppose we are as ready as we are likely to be.
Okay. Let's do this. Absolutely.
Everyone is ready? Very well.
Okay.
I have been in this cage for what seems like days. Are my friends coming to rescue me or not? Should they even bother? They have probably left already.
Wait, Mida, I thought you were a hobbit. You're not a hobbit? I thought you were a hobbit. Maybe you were just crouching down and looked like a hobbit, but... Okay. No, I don't remember the plan. What was the plan? Mida and I will creep to the entrance. Okay. Once I've determined that things are as we expect them to be, Rodwin and I will drop into the camp from above, while Kufaron sows confusion among the orcs with his arrows. Okay. Ramdir is keeping an eye on Isteron. Our lore master has decided he wants to study the effect of some plant he found on the Uruks. Oh dear. Okay. Alright, so we're sneaking. Alright. My doll. Let's do this. Yeah, Madman Monowar, I was thinking that too. Her coif is so weird. Anyway, okay. We're to sneak up to the gate and listen to the conversation. You may not be much of a captain, but you'll be the best burglar you can. Avoid being seen. Got it? Yeah, okay. I'm stealthier than you. Okay. No problem. Maybe they'll tell us something about those metal spiky things. Alright, here we go. Is that so? Some of the boys think we might not have the right one. Bosses want halflings, we got a halfling. Didn't you get a dwarf? The boys say it's a dwarf. Oh, great. Half as tall as we are, isn't it? That's a halfling. Okay. Okay. Are you sure that's what that means? Wait. Oh, Romnir's there. Where is Isteron? Oh, dear. Plan is going awry. Let me guess. His glowers. Okay, you're gonna rescue him, and I'm gonna get Drawfee. Okay. Oh, well, the camp is empty. All right. Boom. Yeah, no problem. There's no point in setting you free. My friends are better off without me. I am no use as a guardian. Yeah, you're stuck in the cage, but hang on. Wait, oh, what can I do? Wait for Drowy to discover his self-confidence. Okay, so you had a weapon that whole time? No one can contain Drawfully Broadshield. Alright, good. Come on, you're a guardian. Go tank for somebody, like me, and you have a bow. Okay, that's not doing it right. Alright, I'm following you. We're going to go rescue Isteron and everybody else. Oh, I can't attack that guy. Okay. Fine. Oh, man. I was trying to get up behind you, dude. Okay. Now what? Where are we going? Up here. You have hunted much deadlier foes? Okay. Oh, we're not going to get him either. Alright, here are our next targets. Man, you evaded my stab in the back and then you disarmed me? That is embarrassing. Come on, Gryfflet, you gotta step up your game here. I know these guys are yellow to you, but still. Okay. And there's Hestil. Something terrible awaits at the top. Whoa. A grim south run. Whoa. A Nazgul? On horseback. Oh yeah, there's my dread. I was wondering where that was. Okay. Little hope. There we go. Sorry, I rarely get a chance to explore. Oh, I like the Eye of Sauron barding. Well, the chainmail is pretty raggedy, but... Hey, where are your boots? You should have boots. No boots. I'm disappointed. He's wearing real gloves. Maybe the guy traded in his boots for a pair of gloves. Yeah. Okay, so you are south run. Hey, Ramdir. Oh, whoa. Is Isteron going to be wraithified? The glowers worked tremendously. Okay. Did they? Survive encounter with the grim Southron. Okay, here comes everybody. I could crush you into paste. It would cost you dearly. Okay. Now we're talking. Tell me what I want to know. One of you stood by the stone steel. Oh, yeah, that was me. I stood by the stone seat. Oh, I'm willing to fess up to that. Do your worst, Nazgul. Oh. The rescued dwarf is going to speak. What are you going to say, Dwarfly? Disobedient fools. Your time is ended, creature of shadow. Whoa! Your time is dawning. Oh, man. Ramdu, you kind of tripped and fell there, but you're okay now? We survived, but I don't dare to call that a triumph. We must leave the East Wall as soon as we can, for the Wraith may return. The one who's... Oh, of course he's looking for Frodo, right? That... Okay. Yeah. Oh, Ethelod says he lost his boots in the Bruin Inn. Yeah, so when it went back to Sauron, Sauron is like, no more boots for you. You lost your last pair of boots. Obviously, I can't trust you with boots. Forget about it. You're not getting any more boots anymore. Okay. Let us hurry back. We don't want to be here when our... No, we don't. Want to be here when the foe returns. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So the Grim South Run.
Thank you very much for your help. Now we can...
Where did Dwarfly go? Oh, man. And Isteron are gone, too. They're off again. It's not easy leading this company, for certain. I wonder if Kulin needs any help running his farm. Thank you once again. They are my friends, but sometimes I think they have more to fear from themselves than they do from orcs. Okay, let's see. Ooh, earrings and rings. What do we have here? Okay. Ring. Ooh. That one's kind of nice. Take that one.
Thank you very much for your help. Now we can...
Okay. Thank you for your help. Now allow me to give you some advice. If you have thoroughly explored the East Wall, and I think I have, your road now leads elsewhere, as does ours. If you have not already explored the Wold, as I have not, I've heard there is a town called Langhold. Oh, I've heard rumors of that town too. In its northernmost reaches, just south of the border with the Great River. You could travel there and find work to be done, I do not doubt, or if you have already explored the Wold, you might journey next to the Norcrofts. Yeah, no worries. I'll get there eventually. Okay. Bye! Okay.
Welcome, my friend.
Okay. All right. Langhold next time. We have finished with the East Wall. Gryfflet is so close to his war pony. Oh, man. Okay. Back to the Argonath to talk to, what's his name? Corodon. Get back with the epic quest line. Ethelod, I haven't decided a name for my war pony. Oh, I'm going to need help with that. What should I name my war pony? Wiggins Warsteed is still my favorite steed name. Right, you may remember we called him Wayward. W-A-Y-W-Y-R-D. JJ still wants a war goat. I hear that. For the dwarf lovers, I can see that. I can see the desire. Oh wait, I'm not going to get a pony. I'm going to ride a full-size horse, but I'm not as tall as Bandibus took. How am I going to swing that? I don't know. Yeah, War Bog Guardian, I wouldn't be into that. A war goat, I have to admit, would be just ever so slightly tempting. Okay, Fromrick, I think I helped out about as much as could be expected.
It is a sad tale you weave.
Okay. The burden our mutual friends bear caused some amount of discord. Exactly. It seems from the signs you read that one or more of them repented of their deeds and sought to repair the divide. Well, one. One halfling stayed clear of the fighting, and it seems another joined him. If they did not cross the river by themselves, I cannot come up with another explanation. The two of them have now left the east wall, heading east. You know the identity of these two, Gryfflet. Can it be anyone but the bearer of the great burden and his loyal servant? Clearly not. Only Galadriel can hope to see them now. I am uncertain of the path of the rest of the company, but my own reading of the signs has shown me something that seems fairly clear. 3 of that company have left for Rohan on foot. I believe they pursue the other 2 halflings of the company.
We should go to
Okay.
Mansig's encampment to speak with Ingild.
All right, Ingild, who has seen something. Okay. All right, let's go. Hey, where's Horn and Nana? Are they having some private time? Oh dear. Okay. Oh. Sikwietska. Trotter. That's a pretty good idea. That would be a good name for my war pony. Which I would really kind of want to be a pony. Trotter. That's pretty good. In memory of the... I'd have to get him wooden horseshoes then, wouldn't I? Yeah. Well, that's exactly it, Ethelwad, right? I have to get wooden horseshoes. For those of you who don't know, Trotter was the original name of the character who later became Strider. In the first draft, his name was... He was a Hobbit who wore wooden shoes, and his name was Trotter because when you heard him coming from a distance, you heard the, like, clippity-clop of his wooden shoes on the road. So they called him Trotter. Not kidding. And the moral of the story, of course, revise, revise, revise. Phil, he actually, there was, Tolkien considered wooden prosthetic feet, actually, that the wooden shoes of Trotter would be not just shoes, but actual wooden prosthetic feet. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Where are we going? Oh, I just missed him. Hey there, Ingild.
A party of Uruks fled from the east wall, the Norcrofts on foot.
Horn is one of my people and I trust him. Okay. Right, if I go to the ridge, I might be able to look over the plains and see where they went. Okay. I'm going to go to the ridge and I'm going to have a look. Boy, it's a little crowded over here. Oh, there they are. My peeps. Hang on, let me go down here. There we go. Hey, y'all. Alright, sorry. I'm trying to... There we go. Alright, it's just the 4 of us again. Here we are looking out across Rohan. What are we seeing here? Where is this? Is this Elfingels? Elfingels? Yes, that's what I meant. No, it's something else. It's a camp. Whose camp is that? Oh. Okay. Oh, it's an orc camp. Oh, that's whose camp it is. Okay. Looking down over an orc. Oh, no, there's a fox here. We'll have to get his opinions on this. Okay. Oh, there's Wildermore up there. Okay. All right. What do you think, Horn?
Stand on this ridge and look out over the plains of Rohan.
Yeah, I am.
from here on this ridge.
Oh, okay. You're all just going to tell me to look. Fine. Here I am, looking. Far off cloud of dust. Okay. Headed in that direction, right? It would be towards the Antwash Vale, sure.
It is strange to look out over the plains of my home. And no, I am not welcome there.
Oh, it's hard, Horn, I know. It's my duty to follow the rumor of my friends. It sure is. And it's your desire to help me to do it. Great. Okay, you'll follow me if you must pass into Rohan. If I must pass into Rohan. Hey, so you'll break your exile? It's okay, they'll probably understand. Corridon tells me that the Uruks are likely pursued by an elf, a dwarf, and a man. And though the tracks are faint and hard to read, I trust his instincts and his tracking skill. Okay. They would need to be incomparable hunters themselves to catch the Uruks if they did not depart immediately. And it seems they did not. True. We are leaving well after both groups, so heed this warning. We will have no hope of catching up with the Uruks that fled the East Wall without war steeds of our own. Okay, we should speak to Mansig about acquiring such steeds. I agree. What do you think, Nonna?
Horn is an unusual man. I will keep an eye on him for you.
You're going to keep an eye on Horn, huh? Horn and I hunted for signs of your friends while you were at Parth Galen. Oh, that's what you were doing. He is not like the rest of the horse lords. If he wishes to go into Rohan, a land from which he is exiled, I will do so without complaint. See how much he risks for the causes of strangers? Yeah, you better keep a close eye on him, Nonna.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
Right. Orcs seem to be gathering on the riverbank again, and there was a Nazgul, just as Grishnak expected, right? Is this so that the Grim Southron is probably the Nazgul that Grishnak was thinking was going to catch up with him? Maybe. Or that he was going to report to? Therefore, Ugluk, by taking Merry and Pippin straight across Rohan towards Isengard, preserved them from being taken by the Nazgul, right? Okay, let's see. The Uruks are right to worry for their run if their run took them into Rohan, and they are several days ahead of us, and mere hours ahead of their pursuers. Okay. Did the Uruks think they had captured something more than captives? If we follow them, we must lend our aid to the captives or the pursuers. No, wait. If we can lend our aid to the captives or the pursuers, we must do so. But we will need war steeds. Agreed. All right, everybody. Back up to the encampment. Oops, I'm late. It's okay. I'm going to finish this up and get down to the border, and then we'll pick up there. Okay. Let's see. Where's Mansig at? There we are. Can I find a Warsteed?
Business within Rohan?
You know, my people are suspicious of outsiders, and you travel with not one but two, and you are one yourself. True enough. Let's see. Okay. Don't think I'm going to beat my custom armor.
Some of my men are returning to the wall. You are welcome to go with them.
Okay. Whoa, I'll automatically travel to Langhold? Okay. Kind of wanted to dramatically cross the bridge from Parth Celebrant and be like, now I am in Rohan, but okay. Nope.
If we are to cross the plains of Rohan with any speed, we will need war steeds of our own.
Absolutely. What? Oh, I was expecting a little more than that. That's okay. Ooh, ruins nearby. Ruins of what? And why? Okay. Hooray! Langhold! Here we are. When will I next see Hestel and her friends? That's what I'm wondering. Okay. All right, I completed her suggestion. Okay, whoo-wee. All right, because let's see. I still have that letter I've been carrying for ages. The Rohan Awaits quest. Uh-huh. Yeah, cross the bridge into Rohan. That's why I've been waiting to do that all this time. Yeah. See, yeah, Sikwoyetska, I agree. I'm not a big fan of the quest teleporting. I mean, sometimes it's convenient, but yeah, so for something like this, it's undramatic. I would want to cross the border. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll sort it out. All right. But this is clearly a good place to stop. So next time, begin Gryfflet's adventures in Rohan proper. As he can't forbear to look around just a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. Next time. And I will be back next week. So next week, regular time. Look forward to seeing everybody again for the continuing adventures of Gryfflet. Thanks, everybody, for joining me again this week, and I will see you next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.